What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm here to break down the NASCAR Cup Series slate at the Charlotte Roval Sunday afternoon. I know most of you will be watching football. I'll be watching football, but I'll probably have this on somewhere. So, it's hard to watch NASCAR, honestly, once football starts because that's just so much more important to me. But what you going to do? We have a big weekend of racing. They did some interesting pricings on Draftkings, which we'll get into for sure. Before I do all that, if you're new to this channel, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, turn on the notification bell. All that stuff really helps me out and helps me grow. Had a lot of growth throughout NASCAR, now NFL season, NBA season as well. College basketball, which is my favorite personal sport, is coming up soon. Can't wait to do content for that. I don't really know when that's going to get started, but we'll see what happens with that. But yeah. Be sure to stay tuned for all of that stuff. If you want to get more of my content, you can always go subscribe to my Patreon. Only $10 a month. You're going to get a cheat sheet with all the stats you need to know, along with projections. You're going to get articles for every single race. Just me going in depth about my favorite plays more, along with salary tier rankings and a cash core for every single race for all three series combined. That's not just Cup Series. That's Cup, Xfinity, and Truck Series. All three of them combined. So be sure to check that one out. I'll put the link below. But I think that's all I got to say. Let's get into this breakdown where we are going to start out with the most highest priced driver, Ryan Blaney. Now, I saw Ryan Blaney as the most expensive driver, and I was like, that's a little interesting. I mean, I know he won this race 2 years ago, the inaugural race at the Roval, but he should have finished third. I mean, if you watch that race, we all know what happened. Jimmy Johnson, Martin Truex Jr. last turn wrecked themselves. Ryan Blaney passed him and won. Ryan Blaney should not have won that race. Should have had a third place finish, which is still really good, but the win thing for Ryan Blaney, all right, let's calm it down a little bit. But anyway, Ryan Blaney has the fourth best average finish at the Roval and the ninth best at road courses. He knows how to get around this track. When we come look at lap sled, 16 at the Roval and 16 at the road courses. So all of his laps led at road courses came at the Roval. He's done well here. Problem for me with Ryan Blaney is he is not running well. Last 5 races, only an average finish of 15, an average position of 13.6, and 38 laps led. He's had a rough second half of the year, Ryan Blaney has, and I don't think that this is going to be a really big turnaround for him. It's not like he's so super great at road courses. He's done well at the Roval, but still hasn't really been that big of a dominator here, so I don't know how much I'm really interested in Ryan Blaney. He's just too expensive for me. I mean, he had a place differential's fun, but I can pay down almost $2,000 for Jimmy Johnson starting 30th, or then go down even $2,000 more for, I know it's Michael McDowell, but or Stenhouse in 38th. There's a lot of good place differential guys that I don't have to pay $10,900 for. And I mean, Jimmy Johnson, we'll get into, also has low-key dominator potential in this race, so definitely something to keep in contact with. I don't think Ryan Blaney is a great play for me here. If you're playing cash games, I think he's fine, but in tournaments, I'm probably going to stay away. He's probably going to get some decent ownership because he has won here before, and that's what everybody's going to be saying. He's, won here, so he's a great play, but I don't know. Ryan Blaney, not the way I really want to go here. The way everybody is going to go, though, and the way I'm going to go, and I think you should go, is Chase Elliott. All right, look, Chase Elliott, $10,600. He's basically the road course guy in the Cup Series at this point. Starts second. He has the second best average finish and only the fifth best at road course over the last few years. But when we had a last place finish at Sonoma in there that really hurts his average, he would be number one. This dude has one. All right, so the last 2 years. Chase Elliott. This year he won the Daytona road course and he won. Or is that the only road course we had this year? He won a Daytona road course this year. Last year, Chase Elliott won the Roval after wrecking, coming back and winning the race, and then he also won Watkins Glen. Chase Elliott 2 years ago also won Watkins Glen. This guy at this track is at these road courses is the best in the business right now. Second best average position at the Roval and the road course. When we go look at laps led, 35 laps led to Roval. I think that's the most, by one, but still the most over the last 2 years. And then 170 at the road courses, which is also the most. The only problem with Chase Elliott, he hasn't really been finishing well recently. Average finish at 18.8 and average position at 17.8. But he has been running well during the races with 462 laps led in 4 of the last 5 races, which just doesn't include Talladega because Talladega is such a wild card. So the 5 races before Talladega, he's led over 104 of them, and the 4 before that. Chase Elliott's been on a roll, leading laps, and now we come to probably his best type of track in road courses. So Chase Elliott, top play for me. I'm going to be playing a ton of him. He's going to be really popular because everybody knows he's great at these tracks, but I don't care. He's just so good at these types of racetracks where, he's just probably going to dominate it and win it. Start second, too. He'll probably get the lead really early. So Chase Elliott, definitely someone I like a lot. Martin Truex Jr. starts 7th, $10,300 for him. 8th best average finish at the Roval. Best average finish at road courses, though, for Truex over the last few years. When we go look at laps led, Truex only at 6th at the Roval, but 142 at road courses. Now, the Roval hasn't necessarily been the best track for Truex, but Sonoma and Watkins Glen over the last few years have been absolutely insane for him. Very, very good. If there's anyone, like the next pick for me behind Chase Elliott to win this race would be Truex. I think he's very good at these road course tracks, so definitely someone I like going to. We go to the last 5 races, only an average finish of 10.8 for Truex, but an average position of 8.8 and 196 laps led. So definitely someone who has the upside to do very, very well. So I do really like Truex this week. Brad Keselowski, $10,100, starting 3rd. Keselowski at the Roval, it's not been the best for him. 15th best average finish at the Roval, 13th at road courses. When we go look at laps led, 32 at the Roval is pretty good. I mean, he was the main dominator in the Roval race. What was that, 2 years ago? The inaugural one, probably he led the most laps in that race. I think all 32 of them were in that race, and those were only 32 laps led to road courses. So probably not the spot I really want to get to, but he does start 3rd, and probably not a lot of people are going to pick him because everyone's picking Truex, Chase Elliott, and then probably Hamlin too. And they're not going to pick Keselowski, so I'll probably play some Keselowski, but definitely not one of my favorite plays. Kevin Harvick, $9,900, starting 4th. He is the 5th best average finish at the Roval and the 2nd best at road courses. When we go look at laps led, 34 at the Roval and 69 at road courses. He's done pretty well with these types of tracks, but still not really one of his strong suits. But what's been getting Harvick recently, 4 laps led, or average finish of 4 in the last 5 races, average position of 5.8 in the last 5 races, and 522 laps led in the last 5 races. Dude has been on a freaking tear. Completely different track style than all those, but I think Harvick's fine. Probably a little bit less likely to dominate, but definitely someone to get some exposure to in tournaments because he will be less owned, and it's not really often that you're going to get a low-owned Kevin Harvick. He's usually one of the highest-owned drivers outside of maybe the plate races. But, yeah, Kevin Harvick, definitely someone I think I got some interest in. Denny Hamlin starts on the pole at $9,700. Only the 12th best average finish at the Roval, but he does have the 4th best at road courses. We can go look at laps led, 0 at the Roval, but 26 at road courses. It seems like the past few years I've seen Martin Truex Jr. and Chase Elliott be 1 and 2 in these races, and then Denny Hamlin's in 3rd. That just seems what it's like for most of these races at the road courses the last few years. So Denny Hamlin definitely someone I do want to get some exposure to. Last 5 races, average finish of 13.6 and 186 laps led. We saw him win at Talladega last week. Don't know if he should have won that race, but that's okay. So Denny Hamlin definitely starts on the pole, but I think Chase Elliott probably leads lap 1 because he's just so good at these road courses. But I think Denny Hamlin's still a viable tournament option if you want to get there. He's probably not going to get too much ownership. So Kyle Busch, $9,500, must-win spot for Kyle Busch. I didn't think this would come down to. I mean, it's not necessarily, but more than likely, it's a must-win situation for Kyle Busch to move on to the next round of playoffs. What a terrible year he's had. But like, what are we going to do about it? I mean, starts 9th place. Is he going to clutch it out? Is he going to win this thing and move on? I really don't think so. Kyle Busch has not been good at the Roval. He's been caught in accidents both races. The 24th best average finish in the field at the Roval for Kyle Busch. But the thing is, like, it's not like he's super great at road courses anyway. Like, he's an okay road racer, but nothing like too amazing. 18th best average finish at a road course over the last few years. Now, the one thing I will say is he does have the 6th best average position at the road courses, so maybe some accidents have been keeping him from these. And if you recall last year at Watkins Glen, I think Kyle Busch had the fastest car, but he got into trouble with every single driver on that racetrack. Got dumped by Bubba Wallace during a race, so it was a disaster of a race. But I think if he had a clean race, he probably would have won. Honestly, could have won that race at Watkins Glen a year ago. So he's shown speed at these tracks. 0 laps led to Roval over the last few years, but 35 at road courses. So that's good. Last 5 races for Kyle Busch, he has a good average position of 6.4, 169 laps led to, most of those coming at Bristol because he's just so good at Bristol. But Kyle Busch, definitely someone to get some exposure to in tournaments, but not someone I want to hang my hat on. Joey Logano, 9,300, starting 8th, 7th best average finish at the Roval, but only 19th at road courses. Joey Logano is not a good road racer. 17th best average finish or average position at the road courses as well. And he's also kind of in a little, it's possible for him to fall out. If Kyle Busch wins, or one of the other 3, obviously, it doesn't just have to be Kyle Busch, Logano could be the guy getting eliminated here. I think he's in 7th right now, and Bowman's in 8th, and we'll talk about Bowman, how great of a play he is this week. But Logano, he needs to have a good race. Only 4 laps led at the Roval and 5 at the road course over the last few years, so really doesn't drive well at these tracks. Average finish is 7.4 in the last 5 races and only 61 laps led, so he hasn't been running too well at all. Anyway, Joey Logano is probably someone I'm going to stay away from. I just think the guys, everyone else in this range is just more likely going to lead the laps, win the race, have a better finish overall anyway. So Joey Logano probably someone for me to stay away from. Jimmy Johnson, 9,100, starting 30th. I do like Jimmy Johnson this year. If you recall, I talked about Ryan Blaney, how Johnson and Truex wrecked on the last turn to win this. That's why Blaney won. Yeah, I mean, Johnson may not have won that race. I mean, Truex was leading going into that turn. He probably would have finished second, though. Has had very good runs here. 6th best average finish at the Roval, 8th best at road courses. When we go look at laps led, only 1 lap led at the road course, though. At road courses, though, 0 at Roval. So, I mean, Dominator probably not going to happen, but starting 30th could easily get a top 10. And this is a track where, like, Jimmy Johnson trying to go out on a winning note. This is a track he could do it at. I mean, we've seen him almost do it in the last 2 years. Definitely someone who could go out with a win here for sure is Jimmy Johnson. Alex Bowman starts 5th, $9,000. All right, Alex Bowman, he's my favorite play of the week. Like, no, I mean, I know people know Bowman's good here, but I still don't think people are going to play him because he starts 5th place and he's Alex Bowman. On the pole, or not on the pole, starting 5th, he has the best average finish at the Roval. Alex Bowman does. Number 1. And then we go look at road courses, the 6th best at road courses. When we go look at laps led, he hasn't led any laps here, but like he finds a way to finish well. And Alex Bowman last year, I don't know if he started in the back or if he spun out really early and was like in the back really early, and he came all the way back up and finished second. And that's really hard to do at a road course because there's not a lot of laps. It's a tough track to pass at. So yeah, Alex Bowman, definitely is someone I want to get exposure to, starting 5th place. I don't think a lot of people are going to play him, and he's so good here. A win would be huge for him. He's not locked in. He's in 8th spot right now in the playoff standings, but like, I mean, he's probably going to make it, but a win would be absolutely huge for his season. We give him a big boost going into the next round. $9,000. I think Alex Bowman's definitely in play. And now Clint Bowyer, $8,800. He is a guy who needs to win to get in. Only way he's moving on to the next round is to win this race. 2nd best average finish at the Roval is Clint Bowyer. So if you're betting on one of these guys, I mean, yeah, everyone's going to be like, oh, Kyle Busch will go out and win. Well, what about Clint Bowyer? Average finish of 3.5 at the Roval, which ranks 2nd. And he also has the 3rd best average finish at road courses in the field. Like, Clint Bowyer runs really well at these tracks. Only 2 laps led to Roval over the last 2 years, which was 2 laps led in road courses over the last 2 years. But does find a way to finish well. So starting 11th could be a sneaky play here. Offers us some place differential upside that not a lot of people think could really happen. But I mean, the problem, like, Clint Bowyer could still finish in the top 5 and not move on. So, like, I think a top 5 finish is definitely in the cards for Clint Bowyer, someone I want to give some exposure to. William Byron at 8,600, starting 13th. 17th best average finish at the Roval. 16th best at road courses. 6th best average position at the Roval is pretty good, but still nothing to be too hung on. But 23 laps led at the Roval is what I do like to see, and 44 laps led at road courses. Byron almost won this race a few years ago. Not last year, 2 years ago. Byron ran really, really well at this track. We know he's been eliminated from the playoffs, but I don't think he's really going to be someone who could dominate, but I think he's someone who's sneaky because if you look at his average finishes, like, they're not good at this track. But he's done well. He's found a way to run really well at these tracks in the past. So William Byron, I think, is a sneaky play here just because we have seen him have the speed here, and we've seen Hendrick have the speed at this track overall. Like, we've seen, obviously, Chase Elliott. I mean, literally, all 4 drivers at Hendrick have been in competition for wins at this track in the past, and they've been doing good at the road course this year. William Byron was having a really good run at Daytona road course before some issues took him out of the race. So I think he's actually a really sneaky play that not a lot of people are going to get to. Kurt Busch, $8,400, starts 10th. Kurt Busch has the 10th best average finish at the Roval and the 7th best at road courses. Kurt Busch already locked into the next round of playoffs. I mean, I think he's fine. I think I'd rather play Byron. I'd rather play Bowyer, not Eric Jones. I think he's a good play, starting 10th. Could get up inside that top 5, but like, I think it's unlikely. Ganassi really hasn't had the speed this year at all. Kurt Busch kind of got lucky with a win at Vegas, if we're being completely honest. So I don't think Kurt Busch is really the place I really want to get to this week. Same thing with Eric Jones. Eric Jones has wrecked both races at the Roval. I mean, saw him pile drive that wall and on that turn on the backstretch, and then last year had engine issues. So 25th best average finish at Roval, but like at road courses hasn't really been a strong suit anyway. 12th best average finish at road courses and 13th best average position, only 1 lap led. So probably going to be a stay away from me is Eric Jones. Michael McDowell starts 31st, $8,100. Michael McDowell definitely do have some pretty solid interest in. He has the 11th best average finish at road courses and the 15th, or at the Roval, and 15th best at road courses. This is where Michael McDowell does well. He does well at the road courses. This there right now is a threat for rain at the Roval this weekend, and if they rain, they're still going to race this race. They do rain tires. Michael McDowell actually has experience in rain tires. If they end up running in the rain, Michael McDowell might freaking win this race. So we saw him run really well at the Daytona road course this year. I mean, he was in contention for a win at one point. So, I mean, he's really good at these road course tracks. Starts 31st. I think this could be a spot where he does really well and can contend for the win. Matt DiBenedetto recently got announced like about a few hours ago that he's going to be continuing in that car. Starts 20th. Now, Matt DiBenedetto at the Roval, never in the Wood Brothers, has 9th best average finish here. He's run well here, 10th best average finish at road courses. I don't see why he's a bad place. Starting 20th, has some place differential upside. Definitely someone I'd like to get some exposure to. Eric Almirola starts 12th. This is a spot. He's another driver who's in a must-win situation, but I don't think I want to go here. 13th best average finish at the Roval. 14th best at road courses. Just starts a little bit too high for me to really think that that's really a good spot, and he hasn't done well here in the past. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. starts 38th. Now, all right, that's dead last. That's crazy, first of all, that Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is starting last. But he is, and he has a 20th best average finish at the road course, 21st at the Roval, 15th best average position at road courses, though, and 20 at the Roval, and 20th at road courses. 2 laps led to Roval. Now, most of those bad finishes at road courses came from, I guess it's really 3 years ago now, 2018. But 2019 and 2020, I don't think he's finished worse than 17th. So Ricky Stenhouse Jr. actually is, I think, a very solid option here. Starting 38th, he's going to be chalky, but I really don't hate going there. I think he's going to be fine. I think this is a spot where he can excel. Christopher Bell, 7,500, starting 35th. 22nd best average position at the road courses. 12th best average position at him, which is solid enough. But, I mean, I think he's fine, too, just because he has the place differential upside. I'd rather play Ricky, because, honestly, I think they're both going to be about the same owned. I don't know which one's going to be higher owned. Bell has really not been running well recently, neither has Stenhouse, but I think Stenhouse, the thing about Christopher Bell's team right now, that team is closing down at the end of the year, so Toyota's really not. They already weren't putting in the best equipment there. I mean, it was okay, it was solid, but they're really not putting the best equipment to Toyota right now. Or to that Levine family racing team. It's all going to Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch and Truex right now. So they're not really getting the best equipment. They're getting the dumps. So Christopher Bell, and I don't know. I mean, I think he's okay, starting 35th. He has some place differential upside, but still probably not someone I really want to get to. Tyler Reddick at $7,400, starting 16th. Only 17th best average finish at road courses and 25th best average position. Not good at these road course tracks, so that's going to be another stay away for me. I don't want to get any Tyler Reddick. Austin Dillon's in a must-win situation, but another driver who's terrible at road courses. 23rd at best average finish at the Roval is bad. 25th best average finish at road courses is bad. I don't want any Austin Dillon this week. Starts way too high for me to really have any sort of interest. Cole Custer, $7,100, starting 28th. Custer has 23rd best average finish at road courses and 22nd best average position. That's going to be another stay away. These rookies, this is not the places where they succeed, except we will talk about one of them. That is possible. The guy I'm interested in, but probably not. Chris Buescher starts 21st. Now, this is someone I definitely have some interest in. It's $6,900, Chris Buescher, 14th best average finish at the Roval. But Chris Buescher has the 11th best average finish at road courses. He drives well at these tracks. 17th best average position at the Roval and 17th at road courses. Now, Chris Buescher is in better equipment this year than he was last year in that Roush Fenway number 17 car. I mean, it's really not that much better, but it is better. I think he has potential to get inside the top 10. And Chris Buescher's been running really well recently. In the last 5 races, I mean, that's not including Talladega, but 16.2 average finish is pretty solid for him. Ran well at Dega last week. He's been looking pretty solid recently. I think Chris Buescher is a sneaky play here starting 21st. That people are just going to play the guys starting around him. Suarez, I will continue to say just don't play Daniel Suarez. He wasn't good at road courses here anyway in the Cup Series. Bubba Wallace starts 26th, 22nd best average finish at the Roval, 29th at road courses. Another driver who's just not good at the road courses, so I don't want to go there. Ryan Newman starts 15th. Another driver just doesn't run well at road courses at all. That's the problem with these guys, these super cheap guys. None of them really run well at the road courses. Matt Kenseth starts 23rd, 6,200. Don't want to go there. Now, John Hunter Nemechek, $6,000, starts 19th. That's going to keep his ownership way down. But John Hunter Nemechek was running pretty well in the Daytona road course before, of course, he wrecked. that's been the story of John Hunter Nemechek's season, and I wouldn't be surprised if he wrecks again. But I think he does have some sort of sneaky upside down here that nobody's going to play. So I think John Hunter Nemechek sneakily could end up being a very, very solid option this week. Don't hate going there. Corey LaJoie starts 32nd, and if you want to go deep down, it's probably where I'm going to go. 20th best average finish at road courses, 31st best at or 20th at Roval, 31st at road courses. Like, he's fine. I mean, he's probably not going to do you much, but he starts so far back that, like, he can't really hurt you. And if you need to go super cheap, that's where to go. Ty Dillon starts 17th. I don't want to play him. Corey LaJoie Ryan Preece starts 18th. I don't really want to go there either. But I think Ryan Preece might be an okay play. 18th best average finish at the Roval, 27th at road courses. Like, they're not good, but, like, he could just hang around there, and that could be enough at that price. But that's really all I got to say on this video. Hope you guys got a lot of good information out of it. Know some good plays here. It's going to be kind of tough to fit two of these stars in here because I don't really like the scrubs a lot, but I think there's a lot of really good plays in this mid-range that are going to be able to make up for it. So good luck making some lineups this week. I hope one of you gets takedown on a tournament or just at least cashes, make some money. Hope you guys make some money this week, and that's always the goal of these videos, to help you guys and myself make money. So thank you guys so much for checking this out, and I hope you guys have a great weekend watching college football, NFL, NASCAR. We'll see if the NBA plays after Friday. Probably not, but yep. All right. Thank you guys so much. Have a great weekend.